Okay, so now I've got my 3 drawings done. I've got my, zoom in here, my blind flange. I've got my slip-on flange. And I have my, oops, this should say lap joint. My lap joint flange. So I have 3 flanges, and they're kind of separated apart so that I can make a viewport. And I've got one mech A on here. And so I need a viewport, right? There's a blank piece of paper, so I need a viewport. I use the def points layer, little layout tab, and I make a rectangular. And in this case, I'm not asking you to put in the general notes or any of this other kind of stuff. This is more like a presentation drawing. So I'm going to go to my model view on my layout, and I'm going to zoom in till I can see just my slip-on. Sorry, my blind. And that looks like it's going to be like a 1 equals 2. 1 equals 2 fits very nicely there. Okay, and I'll have plenty of room to put my dimensions in when I get ready to. So here I've got, and what I can do right here is if I double click, I can change that, or I can type ED, edit text. And this one is going to say slip on flange, and it's a 3-inch slip on flange. Sorry. I am just not being very careful here. That's obviously a blind flange. Okay, so there's my blind flange. Now I want to make another one of these just like it. So I'm going to rename this one. Rename as blind flange. And I'm even going to call it 3-inch blind. See if I can do that right. 3-inch blind. And then, it doesn't like the, there we go, call it 3-inch blind. Didn't like the inch symbol. So now I can make a duplicate of this for my other ones. Right click, move or copy, create a copy. And I can click on it and I can move it to the end. And this one, I'm going to show my slip-on. Double click, 3-inch slip-on. So I'm showing the wrong thing here. I need to go to my model and move over until I see my slip-on. I can lock my view if I'd like to. Probably a good idea. 3-inch slip-on flange. Now I can make a duplicate of that. I'm on my tab for my layouts. Right click. Move or copy. And create a copy and click move it to the end. And this one, double click, is going to be my lap joint. So again, go to the model for it because that's not showing my lap joint. I have to unlock it now. There was my blind flange. There's my lap joint. Lock. Change the name to lap joint. There's a lot of this is I'm asking you to just be careful. Check out to make sure that you've got everything right. Do you have the title right, the viewport right, the right one in there? Do you have your dimensions kind of right? Those are all just part of now developing your ability as a drafter to take care of detail after detail after detail. Okay, and if you make a mistake, just go back and fix something up. So the last thing to do, and I'm going to go ahead and save my work. It was a save. I'm going to put a couple of important dimensions on. So let's make sure that I'm on my dim text or text layer. And of course, I'm going to put the outside diameter because that one's really critical. Oh, that doesn't look good. I think fractional or 2 decimal places will look good. Okay, let's take a look and see. Most of these are actually decimal 2 places. So let's go XX none on this. Annotation, dimensions, XX none. That's what we want to be using. And when I select this one, I should change it to XX none. And from here on out, I'll be on XX none. So here's my bolt circle. That one's a really critical one. And remember, we like to line things up. That looks pretty good. And then this diameter was also called out. And again, I'm just trying to line things up pretty well. So that lets me know I've got the important ones done. And then I probably need this thickness is a nice one to have. Click, click. And then somebody can figure out and go back and look. Yep, they can check it out against your drawing and make sure that everything is done right. Maybe put on your 1/16. But that one was listed as a fraction. This one's not super important to have in there, but it might be nice. It might be nice. Oh, but my fractional doesn't go low enough, so I'm going to leave it as that. So there we go. And you would do that on each of these. You need to do that on each one so that somebody can see what it is. I do not need revisions. I do not need standard tolerances. I do not need manufacturing notes. This is what's called a spec drawing or a presentation drawing or just a block drawing. So there's your next thing to do, which is to create your layouts, 3 different layouts. Once they're done, remember, you want to go ahead and probably export these to a PDF. And AutoCAD, that looks good. AutoCAD to PDF. Not just my current layout, all of my layouts. And then save. And I don't think I've logged into PDF, so it might tell me I can't do it. Nope, I was allowed to do it. Okay, so that is a major part of it. You've got 3 objects in your file. Each object gets its own sheet or layout. Each one needs to have these dimensions so that somebody can check against the table to make sure that they're right. I don't need your name, the date, the file name. I'm going to know that that's yours. Okay, but it should look something like this. This should have dimensions. This should have dimensions. And all of those should plot into, and I use the export version, a single PDF. Okay, there's one more thing that I'm going to ask you to do, but that will be in the next recording.